Karina, this tutorial for Illustrator is for you. What I've done is I've placed your image onto an A4 Illustrator page, which is 297 millimeters wide by 210 millimeters high. So you can see it's coming sideways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it. So with the selection tool, top left in the tool palette, I'm going to make sure the image is selected. Then I'm going to click on the rotate tool, and I'm just going to click on the top right corner, hold down the shift key so it locks into this angle here. And then I'm going to drag the fish onto the page. So I could leave it like that. I could resize it and make them larger, or I can just zoom in. So I'm just going to zoom in for now. So now that I've got your fish in place, I'm going to object, lock, selection. So now they're just sitting in the background, and if I'm drawing on top of them, they're not going to move. So you had some different fish. I think it was this bottom one that you decided that you wanted to go with. So I'm just going to zoom in. But before you go any further, I just want you to go to Window, Workspace, and then Essentials Classic. So what that does is it opens up your tool palette. So you have two rows of the tool palette here. You still have access to these tools, but if you don't choose Essentials Classic, then they're all under one column and you just have to click on more arrows to get to things all the time. So it's just easier to have that open. It also has some basic things open across the top, which is the fill, the stroke weight, the stroke style, the opacity, and then you have things that come up like the stroke here, the type of rounded corners. You've got a selection tool for colours here. You've got the layers palette and so on. So what we're going to do first is, I guess you just have to study it and see which lines are important, which ones you want to be shapes. I think we'll be using the shape builder tool for this. So you've got a few different shapes that you can create, but I think what I would do first is the body, bring it around and do this middle tail here because that seems to work well as one piece. So I would just do that as an outline first. So with the pen tool, it's really important, don't just click and then click on the next one without using creating arms on your line. So I want to show you how to do that so you get nice curved lines. And it's the hardest thing, I think, to learn to control the pen tool in Illustrator. Once you get that, everything else becomes easy, I think. So you're going to click and drag. And so when you click and drag, you get arms. You always make the arms go in the direction that you're drawing and following that angle. You don't want to have big arms because then it wants to go and curve off somewhere other than where you want it to go. So just keep them smaller. Don't do them too close together, and I guess we try and do them further apart sometimes so that we can get it done quicker, but it gives you less control over the shape. So just do them at specific sort of places as you go. So I'm going to do the next one about here, and then around here. So what I'm doing is I'm clicking and dragging before I release the mouse. I'm just working on the keypad though. So click and drag. Click and drag. Now what's happening is it's seeing that it's a shape, so it's trying to fill from the start point to the end point white because I've got white selected over here in the tool palette. So you're going to click on the fill and you're going to click on none, so you get no fill. So now what you're getting is just the outline and you're not going to get any fill. So let's ignore this bit here and just imagine it's not there. So we're going to click and drag, so we're just going to go through there. I think that's the best way to do it for now. There's different ways you can do it. Click and drag, and then we're following through here. Now that's a bit messy in there, because I've got the arms, I can go back and fix it up later. So I'm zooming out, Control minus, and so then I can follow the tail. So as you can see, I'm just clicking and dragging while I'm holding down the mouse so that I get these arms. Now, this is the one that changes things, so you need to pay attention. So see, when I go back, it wants to do this bit of a loop, and because it wants to follow this arm out here and loop back around. I want to have a clean, sharp corner. So I'm going to hold down the Alt key and click on that node in the middle of the two arms there. So what that does is remove the forward facing arm. So now I can do my sharp corner and go straight back here. So I'm going to go to about here and click and drag. And then here, click and drag. And I'm going to go all the way through here. Click and drag and just follow the shape here. Maybe do it a bit closer so it gives me a few more arms to control when I go back and clean it up. Click and drag, click and drag, and then we come back to the start.